see, we have to go through Panchakoshas. Know what they are? Annamaya
Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha, Anandamaya Kosha.
Anandamaya Kosha. And beyond that is the Atma and Paramatma. So deep within. And these are one below the other. Something like shirt, coat and bunion, something like that. Actually they are not physical entities. They are concepts. Annamaya Kosha. Now this is Annamaya Kosha. Where is Pranamaya Kosha? It is there within. All functional activities, they are put under Pranamaya Kosha. And Manomaya Kosha, whenever you are dreaming, whenever you are thinking, you are in the Manomaya Kosha. And then finally Vijnanamaya Kosha, intellect. And then you have the Anandamaya Kosha. That is where this I am is. I am. And in deep sleep condition, we are in Anandamaya Kosha. So these koshas are not separate entities. This way. They are here. And according to their function, names are given. Now, Annamaya Kosha and Pranamaya Kosha, they go together. This is Annamaya Kosha, this is your body. Pranamaya Kosha is the functional aspect. Our eating, drinking, respiration, all these life activities, they together form the Pranamaya Kosha. There is what is called an electrical form of energy called Pranashakti in the body, according to yogis. Now, according to modern science, it is different. They take only physical things into consideration. They don't believe in God and the mystery and power, all those things they don't accept. They refuse to accept all these things. They say what is concretely visible, what is concretely, when you can examine them with some instrument or other. They are alone. If we talk about Prajna, Brahma, and all this Atma, Paramatma, now where are they? We have dissected the body. We have analyzed all the physical things in the body. We did not find anywhere this Atma, Paramatma, and all these things. Where are they? A question like that. The other day they took a census as to how many people how many scientists in Western countries believe in God. They found only 10% believe in God. 90% don't believe in God and all these things. Whereas in India, again they took a census of the scientists. They found that 60% of they believe in God, the scientists. Here the way bringing up is different. Now when the rocket was sent, PSLV, from Sriharikota, they first went to Lord Venkateshwara for a temple and prayed to him that this rocket should go and really raise estimation for God. And when it was successful, again they went and thanked him. Nicely, Lord Venkateshwara sitting on the 7 hills and the stone image there inside. But it is so real. And Hanuman is real, Rama is real, Krishna is real. So many people. And when they come to this country and go around and see people taking these things, they are surprised. What? This Ramayana is there already. And it is a story about Rama, Hanuman and all those things. But they treat those characters as real. So real, intimately related. You go to Benares University is there. The students have to go to the examination. First they go to the Hanuman temple. Hanuman Chalisa they will repeat. You find everywhere students there praying to God that they should succeed in the exam. The question paper should be easier, whatever it is. So anyway, so Panchakoshas we have to grasp. And each day we will examine one kosha. Today Anandamaya kosha we will examine. And now our Shastras also describe the koshas and also other things. We have got Panchendriyas and then there are tattvas, all put together about 29 according to some, 24 according to some others. Tattvas are described. On these things are, when you have to cross all these things, then only you will reach the Atma. But when we talk about the European viewpoints, physical body is the main portion. But here there are three bodies according to the yogis. There is the physical body, there is a subtle body, Sukshma Sarira, and there is a Karana Sarira, causal body. So three bodies are there, five koshas are there, all these things they talk about. Now, these people, the Western scientists, they examine the body physically. And with our indriyas, our ears, our eyes, we by touching, we see so many things here. And what are the body is made up of organs. They have got hands, legs, etc. These are karmendriyas. There are 5 jnanendriyas, the eye, the ear, etc. And then there is the mind also. All these 11, all the indriyas according to them, and they communicate, they bring information from outside. And that is the basis for our view of the world. But then the Europeans succeeded in constructing what is called a microscope. A microscope is a set of lenses. Now you bring those microscopes. Go this way. Those which are weak, 5 of them are outside. So the microscope consists of a set of lenses. Lenses near the eye is called eyepiece. Those which are the nearer to the object which we observe, they are called the objectives. Objective lenses, eyepiece lenses. 2 lenses here, 2 lenses here. Altogether 4 lenses. And they together magnify 100 to 150 and up to 1000 units. They are differently costly. The lenses also vary. When you want to increase the magnification, then you have to use higher and higher powerful lenses. And the microscopes are very costly because they have got an iron base for putting the lenses into, and then how to see the stage and all these things. Naturally, all put together because they cost 1,000 rupees or 3,000. Now this is also a microscope, but this is a new microscope which I have innovated, and recently I got it patented also. You know what a patent is? There is what is called patent law. All over the world it is. In each country there is a separate patent law, and there are patent laws which govern the entire world also. And the patent law is a protection for ideas. These are all ideas, my ideas I used, and I constructed this. It doesn't look like the ordinary microscope, and very simple to operate, this one. Generally they use slides, cover slips, etc. for seeing any object. They have to put it on the, they take sections and then put them on the slide, put a cover slip over it, and then put it under the lens. And the lens is manipulated by what is called a rack and pinion arrangement. And also there will be a wheel, but it rotates a wheel there inside. The wheel will projecting into teeth, and it lifts up or puts down the... Now here I use only a wheel and a shaft. And if we move the wheel, this wheel we move, and it moves forward and backward. And the stage at center I minified. I made it very small. This is the stage, where there will be a very big stage there, in the ordinary microscope. And 2 clips are there to hold the object on the stage. But here I simply made it into 2. The table itself, I made it into 2 folded. And this holds the material which is inside. And I used only plastic bags like this. I'll show you this now what it is. And In this I place the material which we want to see. For example, I have placed here the onion scale peeling. Onion peeling you can take, that is the skin, inner skin, and I have put it there. And if the cells have to be seen, they have to be seen only one layer there should be. For example, if I put my hand under the lens, you can't see anything. Light is necessary, but light cannot pass through my hand. But there are several layers of cells here. But if I can take away the skin alone and put it in a microscope, then I will be able to see. So if I want to see the skin cells, I must borrow skin from somebody. Repeat. You won't. Because it's very painful to see. Because of onion, it may be painful to onion, we don't know. But it doesn't complain also. So we skin it and just look into plastic things. And we just focus it by rotating this wheel. You will see the cells. The cells are exactly like bricks because of onion. And they are relatively very big. And that is why in the schools and colleges they use onion scale peeling to show the students the onion cells and all. So you will see. Now these are 5 of them. In all of them I have placed the onion peeling. But then every body is made up of, every plant and animal or bird or human beings, they are made up of cells. And we can see them under the microscope. And because the plants won't complain, actually they are also living. It seems they have got a feeling also. They have got fear, ananda and all those things, according to some scientists, like J.C. Now modern instruments have come, electronic instruments. With that they try to perceive these things. And the scientists, Western scientists are also saying that there is some sort of feeling within the plant also. And just like us, they also feel. But anyway, for practical purposes, we can take banana, for example. You eat banana. But will banana eat? Is banana living or non-living? Living. Now, if you want to say anything as living, it must perform all life activities. It must eat. It must eat. Does it eat? Does it respire? Banana. How do you know?
Like all plants respire.
All plants respire?
Yeah.
How do you know?
You know, they grow.
They grow all right.
Yeah.
But how do you know that they respire?
Without respiration, they won't grow.
Is it?
Really?
Without respiration they can't grow?
Yeah.
How do you know?
Like without feeding themselves, they won't grow.
Grow. So there must be nutrition. And what is the mouth there?
Xylem and phloem, they start.
What is quite right. Now you have examined it, you are a biology student and so you talk about it. For ordinary persons, they can't see these things. They consider it as being informative. We ask the question, banana will eat. It is a very surprising thing for an ordinary person. Those who are not trained. Even for biologists, they can't demonstrate its nose or anything like that, how it respires, how it takes nutrition. But then, banana is made up of cells. Do the cells respire? Do they take in from the These are questions. And all these questions they try to answer, the Western scientists. And they found answers that it is possible. And that a living being need not necessarily have these organs. And the cells directly can make use of these functions because of the structure of nature. For example, onion scale peeling is there, banana pulp is there, banana peeling is there. But are all them living? The banana peeling we throw away. Is it living? Is it growing? Will it grow? It will dry up and die. But when it is attached to the plant, well, it gets nourishment and it respires and so on. Anyway. Now they asked me to introduce myself. Now this is my introduction. I was 83 years ago, I was like this. And you were also like this. Some years ago. You said you are 20 years. Now I'm 30. Huh?
I'm
28. So 30 years ago you were like this. All of us were like this. Single cell. And this is a fertilized female cell. And we find here some pill-like body, snake-like thing. And The head of that is the female cell, male cell. The male cells will be in thousands or even lakhs, we don't know. And the female cells will be very limited. They are formed in the female body. And these male cells, when they are introduced into the female body, and they enter and try to enter this particular female cell, and only one of them will succeed. But thousands will be there. All of them, something like Swayamvara. That is the princess coming and selecting one pair among the kings, among the princes. Like that. This one selects somebody. Some one of these spermatozoids. Spermatozoid is called. It is got head and tail. The head alone enters inside the female cell. And they both unite together. And in each cell there will be what are called chromosomes in the nucleus. Nucleus is part of the body, part of the cell. And in the nucleus there will be different number of chromosomes. For example, in the case of human beings, there are 46 chromosomes. All thread-like bodies. And on each one of them there will be what are called genes. Gene is a DNA molecule. DNA means deoxyribonucleic, very big name, scientific name. And that DNA will have everything written, all our characteristics. Now, each one of us has got a particular type of nose, particular type of eyes, particular type of ears, and so on and so forth. Oh, why this particular nose? If you got a straight nose, you can't get a stubby nose. Suppose you got a stubby nose, you want a straight nose, you can't get it. What nose is coming, that alone you have to bear for the entire life. Now, so also the voice. Some voices are very sweet, some voices are very coarse and all that. And the voice is a character, again, is inherited from parent to progeny. Now, anyway, the DNA or genes, there are about 30,000 genes in each cell, in every cell. And in the 30,000 genes, all our story is written. The physical body structural features, and then what type of hormones they should secrete, and enzymes, and so on and so forth. And when you, at what stage you should get diabetes, and disease or what are called genetic disease, or hereditary, the passed from parents to progeny. Now anyway, the language is a 4-letter language. It is called genetic code language. And in that code language is all written. And this language is common for all living things. Plants, animals, birds, insects, bacteria also. All of them, they have got these parts, the chromosomes, genes and all that. And each will have a different number of chromosomes, different number of genes, and in the genes, all the story of that particular organism's body is written down in the genetic code language, which is universal. The entire living world, that same language is being used. And then, you see, this single cell, it divides into two. 2 become 4. It is doubles. 4 become 8. 8 becomes 16. Like that, their number increases. And we find some thousands being formed. And outwards, some lakhs of cells are formed. And these things are arranged in particular fashion. And finally, each cell, as if some director is directing the whole cinema. Some cells become nose. First they become skin, muscle, etc. And later on, they are arranged in a particular fashion that a nose is formed, eye is formed, and so on. And each one of these structures are a great wonder. It's a miracle. The eye is a miracle. Nose is a miracle. Tongue is a miracle. And structurally, functionally, so astonishing. Most sophisticated modern scientific principles are involved in the structure and as well as the function of each organ. You compare it to most modern digital camera, the eye. The ear also, the most sophisticated hearing system is there, inside the ear. And so is the nose. And they do several functions. Not only they do normal functions such as respiration, etc. They also protect our body from external microorganisms. The structural features are such, they are intended for those things. And then there are hormones. It's a chemical factory, our body. Oh, so many types of chemicals are formed. And they are very costly. For example, penicillin is there. It's an antibiotic. Now in India they have got Hindustan antibiotic factory. For that crores of rupees have been spent. So many scientists work there, engineers work there. All paraphernalia necessary to make that particular penicillium notatum is a mold. Mold means what a mold is. Now it's a green mold, and it manufactures the penicillin naturally. And that was the discovery of Alexander Fleming, the man who discovered this penicillin medicine, 1900 or so. And he got a Nobel Prize for that. And then similar antibiotics are manufactured in our body also, at no cost. There's getting flowers for that. Now, it is there. Now he discovered the first antibiotic, old lice was dying, in his nose himself, his own nose. You see, he was making experiments, growing the bacteria in petri dishes, and then putting some juices to see whether they will be clicked. The problem then was, in the First World War, people were wounded. And before they were brought to the doctor, they become septic. That is, the bacteria enter inside through the wound, and the whole thing becomes impossible for the doctor to cure. So they wanted a medicine which will go inside the body, but will not harm the body. Whereas the antibiotics were there, antiseptics were there, like Dettol and phenol, etc. But those things can kill bacteria, but if they are injected inside the body, they will kill the body cells also. The result, the operation will be successful, bacteria will be killed, but the patient will not survive. People also go with the bacteria. The result, those medicines were not useful. So they wanted a medicine which will go inside the body, will not harm the body, but will kill the bacteria. Such a medicine they want. Such a thing is called antibiotic. Now this Alexander Fleming, his guru, tried it. He could not succeed. And he tried for 8 years. And in the 8th year or so, he was growing this bacteria and trying experiments on that to see which one will kill the bacteria. And one day, he opened that petri dish, the lid. His nose was running. What is his nose was running? Cold. Yes. He caught cold. Catching cold, we say. Now anyway, the nose was running, and a drop of this nasal secretion came in this culture, bacterial culture. So all right, he was closed it, went away. Next day when he came and saw that, wherever this nose was dropped, all around the bacteria, immediately recognized what is happening, because it was antibiotic for 8 years. So he but how to make a medicine out of it? How many people you can go and it is not useful. The very next year, 1927, very next year, well, he suddenly, by accident, a mold, a green mold fell inside the culture. And when he saw that, wherever the mold was growing, all the bacteria were dying. So he immediately recognized that mold also is preparing antibiotic. Immediately he crushed it, prepared juice, and with the help of 2 doctors, they tried experiments on human beings. Also patients, they found it very successful. Now, the doctor can operate even under a tree, not necessary in operation theatre. Because if the bacteria enters, well, it doesn't matter. It will give this antibiotic and it will go and kill the bacteria. So, all over the world, well, thousands of people were saved because of this one antibiotic. But immediately began attacking molds. Wherever molds were grown, well, they began searching for more antibiotics. They found so many others, bromistine, terramycin, aramycin. So you find these living organisms can produce so many types of chemicals. All organisms produce. And the human body also produces so many chemicals. And hormones are there. They are chemicals which are responsible for growth in the body. Now my neck, your neck, etc. only is so long. Suppose it grows like a giraffe. Neck goes like this. Very nice. You can sit here and see the entire campus. But such a thing doesn't happen. Because the organism has got some limitation, some controls are there. And when you see the whole picture. The body is such a miraculous organs. Now the heart is a wonderful engine. HP, horsepower. 1 horsepower, 2 horsepower. They use it for lifting water from the well or something. And this heart, they compare to a machine, an engine, which is 1 lakh horsepower. Such an unimaginably powerful engine it seems. Day and night it works. For 100 years, if you live, 100 years it works. Day and night, no rest at all. No holiday for it. Always working. Because it is connected with the circulatory system in our body. The blood circulation is a big transport system. It is the most wonderful transport system in the world. Now we'll talk about it tomorrow. So now, the body is constructed like this. It will take 9 months for completing the whole structural features of a human body. So it happened for this body 82 years ago, 83 years ago, it started the journey like this. But now there are billions of cells in this body. Billions, not millions. Million means how much? 10 lakhs. No, billion. So not 1 billion, but several billions of cells are there. And the cells are so tiny that you can't see them directly with this naked eye. You require a microscope for that to see the cells. It was so tiny. And so complicated. One fellow has written a book comparing the cell with the earth planet. The earth planet, how much complicated things are going on. So many complicated things are going on in the cells. I'll come to that now. Anyway, this is called embryology, the study of the embryos. They have studied, this embryology science studies the life cycles of many living organisms. Plants, animals, their business is there. And they have unraveled so many mysterious things about the bodies of living organisms. This is a small magazine. It is written in Telugu. It is talking about the various organs in the body, their structural features, and each being a wonder. He describes some of them. And he says each is a miracle. And you don't find them, even in modern, very latest developments, they are not up to the mark compared to the instruments that are being used in the human structure. And because of various other animals and birds, they have got extraordinary powers which we don't have. For example, a police dog, I come here, and if I go away, it smells the seat here, and then it traces me. It is every step I make, I am leaving some chemical there. Smell means chemicals. And so specific to me, even among 100 or 1,000 people, it can come and specifically identify. Such a wonderful nose the dog has. We have got a nose. What is it? No, it can do such things. Now look at the eyes of a kite. The kite is so high, flying. And it can identify the chick here, the chicken in the hand. It comes all the way to take away the chicken. And its mother cries, oh, my baby is being taken. And it cries, what can I do? My baby is hungry, so I have to take it. So it's all a struggle for life and living. And in each case, it is the body which is made up of cells that is doing all these functions. So now imagine what this Annamaya Kosha is in the light of modern science. It is most miraculous machine in the body. And this has been given free to you. Who gave it? Who is doing all this? Now the whole of science, all the developments put together is just 2,000 years old. Right? 2,000 modern science. They have discovered many interesting things. No doubt. They are all like our yogis and rishis, but at the physical level. Whereas they are non-physical things they are talking. They are talking about the mind and its powers, and the soul and its powers, and so on. They have also achieved miraculous feats, the yogis and rishis, in ancient India, and in other countries also they may be. They have people like that. But these Western scientists, they are yogis and rishis of this physical world. So many astonishing powers they have discovered. They are unraveling the mysteries of the Creator. Somebody created all these things. That is the word we use. They don't accept it, Western scientists. Who is that? We don't find anybody creating. Things are happening naturally. They call it nature. That word is used here also. Prakriti we call it. But we say Prakriti is jada, inert. It can't perform intelligent things. There must be an intelligent director for this cinema. So they say Prakriti and Purusha. These terms are used here. But the Purusha they don't recognize. Where is the Purusha? We couldn't find any Purusha here. And Prakriti is doing everything naturally. That is how they contend. Even now they try to argue like that. But though the things have changed in recent times. So you find at each level you find so much of diversity. Now this is a book on birds. And these birds are structurally and functionally very astonishing creatures. And you see this? This weaver bird it is. It has woven a house for itself, very complicated. And no human being can construct a house like this, with thread-like things. See this hanging? These are all its houses. And where it lays its eggs, and the chicks will come. And they take special care of the chicks, just like the human mother. And so many places bring food, put it in the mouth of the... As soon as the mother comes, they begin shouting, "Oh, where is mommy? Where is my bed?" Immediately they put inside the food material in their mouth. So intelligent they are, these birds. And so also the other living organisms, right from bacteria to the whale or the elephant. Which is the biggest animal in the world? No, yes, whale. Whale is a whale so big that it appears like an island, it seems, in the ocean. There are stories where people in olden times, they went in their boats thinking there is an island. They used to get down and begin cooking. And then they, what is it, who is that fellow rascal who is doing something near my tail, it wags his tail and then they run because they find that is something big. Such is the astonishing size of that whale. Now, there are museums. I don't know whether you visited a museum. And in Madras there is a big museum where whales, the skeleton of the whale is about. Occupying the entire 2 or 3 rooms. All like this, so big. Now then there is the elephant also. It's also naturally, there is a water animal, whereas this one is, it is a mammal, the whale. It feeds its children with milk and all. In the beginning they thought it is part of the fish world, but it is not correct. And the elephants are there. And there are very small organisms called bacteria. They are so small that on a pinhead you can arrange 1,000 of them or 2,000. On a pinhead you can, so big they are, so small I mean. Now in all of them the Atman is supposed to exist. Anoraniya Mahato Mahya is the Kathopanishad story. Smaller than the smallest. Smaller than the smallest. That is the Atma Swarupa. And bigger than the biggest. In the living world, whales are all nothing. Then galaxies, stars, planets, etc., over which you will learn more in there too. So big, unimaginable big bodies they are. And they are nothing compared with the Atma. Such is the bigness, vastness of the nature of this Atma. Now anyway, so this is about the physical structure. And just astonishing, the physical Annamaya Kosha. And you have to see some of the cells, etc. You see this one. And what else? We used to take one full day for explaining these cells and all that. Now these are different cells in the human body. Here are skin cells they are. This is a nerve cell, long telegraph wire like thing. And these are blood vessels, muscle cells. Muscle cells are there. And this is bone cell. So you find they are structurally different. And the structure is according to the function. For example, the nerve cells, they are something like our communicate, telegraphic wires. They take messages from every part of the body to the brain. Brain is the controlling center. And there is no such exchange center in anywhere in the world. Even the most advanced cities like New York, Washington, Beijing, etc., they are nowhere comparable to the brain cells. They perform so many functions, millions of functions. So many messages come from every part of the body. Whatever happens in any part of the body, even in cells, etc., the message must go there and receive their orders. Suppose the hand goes on my finger, my toe, immediately the message will go there. And an order will come. And to say, oh, left hand, you please go and take away that fellow. And the hand moves. The hand by itself will not move. By itself it cannot take any article. Message must come from there. Then only it brings. Now we call mind, and they call brain. They say, where is the mind? They have not seen it anywhere. And brain is performing all the functions which you claim mind is doing. That is what they claim. And when Swami Vivekananda went, this is one of the questions they raised. We talk about mind. Where is the mind? We dissected the body. And we could not find mind anywhere. There is it. And there is the brain. We can show it. It is a physical entity. And it performs all the functions which you say mind is performing. And where is the mind? And Swami Vivekananda said, yes, brain does it, but brain is like a computer. A computer can do wonderful functions, but it has to be fed. Information has to be fed inside by a human being, by an intelligent person. Suppose there is a computer here. I don't know how to operate a computer, but what is the use? So also, the brain is there. It's a wonderful computer, no doubt. But there must be an operator. If the operator is missing, the brain will be useless. In a dead body, the brain is there. Structurally, it's okay. Perfectly okay. But it doesn't function. Why? If brain can function by itself, well, the brain in the dead body is there. Functionally, structurally okay, but functionally zero. So Vivekananda told them, mind is there. Mind, it may be called Jivatma also according to some yogis, and it does all the functions through the brain. Just as it does functions through the body organs, that is one of the organs, brain. Most complicated, most supercomputer it is, everybody agrees. But then it is not the final thing, there is a mind that operates it. And behind the mind there is the universal soul, which is the mind also. According to these people, these are their discoveries. Just like the scientists have discovered physical things in the world, astonishing things no doubt, the yogis and rishis have also discovered wonderful things, very extraordinary things, which baffle even the most modern scientists. And they are the powers of the mind and the soul and so on. We will come to it when we come to Anamaya Kosha. So, Annamaya Kosha is the most astonishing, miraculous machine in the world. But the question is, who constructed it? Who developed it from a single cell with such an astonishing, complicated body? Every organ is developed inside the body. Now you see, I've got 2 kidneys, not 1. And if we can sell 1 kidney, you'll get 1 crore rupees. There are people who are ready to pay. Because if there is no kidney, that means the fellow is dead and gone. Unless he uses a machine outside, something similar to it. Thank you. Now, yes. Distribute them. Now here, you take it and distribute on the ladies here. Thank you. is your photo. The X-ray photo. And you see on the right side of this picture, so many mechanical gadgets are there. We got ball and socket. There are 200 odd bones in the skeleton of human skeleton. And you have got ball and socket here near the shoulder. You can move it in any direction. And then you have got the hinge at the end. In the elbow here, you have got a hinge joint. You can move only on one side. It is the same thing which is used in the door. The door I got moving one side only. And there is a revolving chair. It has got a ball and socket mechanism. That is, and there is a spinal cord, which is also a mechanical field. Swivel and joint, we call it. The backbone. The backbone was like a rod. You would not have been able to live like this. Now you can move your body in any direction because the vertebrae are there, separate bodies, pieces, and they are mixed together. And similarly, various joints and small bones are there, very big bones are there. The thigh bone is the biggest bone, and the bone in the ear is the smallest. And so you have to examine your own skeleton. This is one of the exercises, one of the meditations you are going to practice. But then it is not the skeleton that we are trying to understand. We are trying to understand who is manipulating the skeleton. Skeleton is jada. The bones are inert. They can't talk. And they can't walk. They can't sit. The skeleton by itself cannot do any of this one. But how is it moving? It is something like a fan. Fan moves. And the bulb lights up. Mechanical things. But if there is no current, it is a function. So there must be some intelligent power in the body which is operating all this skeleton. Not only skeleton, various other parts of the body also. Very intelligent operations are going on, and unless there is a very highly intelligent agent in the body, all these activities cannot go on. Now who is that? What is that intelligent power? Give the rest. So that intelligent power is described here by the yogis as Chaitanya Shakti, Chit Shakti. Chit means intelligence, consciousness. Consciousness or intelligence. Remember, use the word consciousness. I mean the English people. But in the yoga literature it is referred to as Chit or Prajna. Prajnanam Brahma, the Brahman, which is ultimate Brahman, he is described as Prajna, infinite Prajna, infinite intelligence, infinite Chit. So they say that there is what is called Chit Shakti. That is also called Atma Shakti. So Atma, the word is used in Bhagavad Gita, their lectures. And when we hear those lectures and read those books, we think that it is something solid, like us, like a physical something sitting somewhere else. No, it is there in every one of the bodies of the living organisms. That is what he is claiming. Arjuna is asking Krishna Bhagavan, where are you? How are you? What is your greatness? Nobody can tell. You alone can tell about your greatness. You know about yourself. Please enlighten me as to what you are, where you are. And he doesn't say, Lord Krishna doesn't say, I am only Mohana Giridhari, Gopika Vihari. No, none of them needed this. He says, Aham Atma Gudakesha. Gudakesha means Arjuna. Aham Atma Gudakesha. Sarvabhuta Sastita. I am the Atma Swarupi. As Atman, I am residing in the heart of every living organism. So this is what his claim is. And this is what the yogis are talking about. They talk about Chit Shakti or Chaitanya Shakti. And it is there in every living organism, not only human beings, every living organism. performing various life activities. This is the great discovery of the Upanishad Rishis, some thousands of years ago. And they try to express their experience. And they are the 108 Upanishads. 108 Upanishads are there at the end of each Veda. 4 Vedas are there. What are they? You all know? Atharvana Veda. So 4 Vedas are there. At the end of each Veda, there are the Upanishads. Now, yes, we are going to it. 4 days. Now, so you find the Upanishad talking about only this Brahman, Acchidananda. And there is only one mantra they talk about, that is this Pranava Mahamantra. That is Omkar. 35 Upanishads describe various aspects of this Omkar. It is made up of 3 sounds, Sakar, Okar, Omkar, and so on and so forth. And in the Jnana-Bindu Upanishad, it talks about how it should be pronounced. Om, 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 this is the mouth. Aswa, it is called. Dirgha, Om, as it is coming from the mouth, within what we are doing now. And that is Dirgha. And in between, we continue thought, middle way, and so on. And he also how it should be pronounced and how it should be end. Like Ghanta Nada is this. Ghanta means, the bell. In temples there is very big bell. They sound it in particular periods to invite the devotees. And after ringing he will stop. But the sound will continue. So this Omkara should be done like that. Om. Now there are 3 sounds, Akara, Ukara and Makara, but A and U combine together and become O. So when you utter it, only 2 sounds are visible. Om. This Makara must be prolonged like that. And then merges in silence. So that is the 4th state. 3 states are there for us. Jagra, Swapna and Sushupti. And Akara, Ukara, Makara represent that. And there is a 4th state, that is that silent state. And you will enter into that 4th state. And you will be immortal. Immortal. Then you will not need any food, no respiration, no body at all. And you will live. You are a nameless, formless being. So this is what they claim. And this is what we are going to discover. Within these 7 days, you will find that you are transformed. Already you are now, you see that your body is not like this as you think you are. How are you? You are made of cells. And cells are physical entities which you can see with the help of microscopes. So imagine yourself made up of so many kinds of cells in the body. How peculiar it will be. And each cell is made up of molecules. It is made up of carbohydrates, proteins, and so on and so forth. So many kinds of proteins are there. Very complicated structures, proteins. Hormones, enzymes are all proteins, different kinds of proteins. They are the body builders, the proteins. The carbohydrates, they give the energy. They are broken down and energy is liberated from the carbohydrate like sugar, pulses and so on and so forth. And so you find this body is a miracle. It's a big factory of chemicals. They are all molecules. And each molecule consists of several atoms. For example, water is a molecule. There are 2 atoms, hydrogen and oxygen, in a particular proportion. So also, various other things which we see here are molecules made up of atoms, definite number of atoms, arranged in a particular pattern. The arrangement also is specific. Both coal and diamond are same structurally, but functionally they are so different because there is some difference in the structural arrangement of the same atoms. So there are various things in this world. So ultimately, they analyzed, dissected everything, and they found atoms for the ultimate things. Long ago. Atom means unbreakable, smallest particle, unbreakable. Now these scientific terms are mostly Latin and Greek terms, because the original scientists in Europe or the Greek philosophers, just as in our country, the rishis and yogis are the original scientists. In European countries, for all of them, Greek and Latin are the mother language, like our Sanskrit. All the other languages have their root in the Latin and Greek. And in all these sciences, the scientific terms are Latin terms. Oxygen, hydrogen, all those things they are not English terms. And they have got a meaning, hydrogen. Hydros means water, and gen means to produce, hydrogen and so on. Now anyway, so the body is made up of cells, and cells are made up of molecules, and molecules are made up of atoms, groups of atoms they are. And each atom subsequently, first they thought it is unbreakable, later on they broke it, and they found subatomic particles called electrons, protons and so on. And the electrons are definite in number. Their number decides whether a particular thing is iron or gold. Both of them will have electrons, but different numbers. If you can change the number of electrons in an iron molecule, it can become a gold molecule. They tried it, they succeeded, but the cost involved is so high that it is not a profitable thing. It is more than the cost of the gold which you are going to get. So they did not attempt it. So anyway, the structural features are so that ultimately the bodies, all physical bodies, or all matter, whether living or non-living matter, is made up of atoms and then subatomic particles, and they found that these subatomic particles are energy waves. Or energy. Electrons is negatively charged energy, and protons are positively charged energy. So they finally came to the conclusion that the whole world is nothing but energy and its manifestations. They have prepared atom bombs and hydrogen bombs, which demonstrated actually how much energy is stored inside the atoms. Atomic bomb they call it. Hydrogen bomb, hydrogen atoms. And the sun, they say, so many atoms are being broken. Atom bombs and hydrogen bombs are exploding daily in thousands. And consequently energy and heat, etc. are liberated. And they want to enjoy. 500 crores it has been there. And it seems it will be there for another 500 crores of years. So much of energy is being produced there. And the source is the atoms and hydrogen bombs and atom bombs being exploding there. Anyway, so we have come to the conclusion that the body is not like this, as you think it is. No, definitely not. And now you can't argue. These things have been told by the rishis and yogis also. They have said long ago, thousands of years ago, Sarvam Shaktimayam Jagat is a Vedantic dictum. It's a fundamental principle of Vedanta. But then they could not demonstrate these things. They could see directly. A Buddha, a Ramana, a Vivekananda, a Ramakrishna could directly experience these things, but ordinary people, so easy to accept. Now in 7 days, we want to retell that. What the yogis say requires thousands of years or many births. Bahunam janmanamantena jnanavan mam prapadyate. One who becomes a jnani worships me as what? Vasudeva sarvamiti. Everywhere Vasudeva is there. Vasudeva is doing everything through all the living organisms. He is acting. He is the sole director. He is the sole actor also. But actor who wears so many forms. See, same actor will act as 2 or 3 different people. Is it not so? There are cinemas where the same actor, the hero, he will be the so many other people also. Huh? Multiple roles they play. Now like that, Lord Krishna, who is Atma Swarupa, he is making this dance drum. And not only human beings, plants, animals, bacteria. And now there are no viruses are there. They are smaller than the bacteria. Which is the smallest living thing, you know? What is smallest living organism? Bacteria. No. Amoeba is the elephant compared to the smallest one. Algae, that is their name, general name. Algae is like human beings. Microorganisms, some green microorganisms are called algae. Fungi means they are all like this fungus. For example, this mushroom is a fungus. Now anyway, here you find these living organisms are being regulated by some Chit or Chaitanya Shakti. And they say it is responsible for the cells and the various molecular manufactures. It is a lot of chemistry knowledge. And the skeleton structure, in order to construct a engineering and mechanical engineering knowledge is necessary. Otherwise you can't construct it. And who is that mechanical engineer? Or real mechanical engineer? Your daddy and family? No. Nobody human being can construct such thing. And the Chit Shakti, Atma Shakti, so mysterious power, so infinite intelligence, infinite knowledge, infinite power. These are the characteristics of that Brahman as described in the Quran, and yogis. Anyway, sir, this body is wonderful, and the manipulator of this body is even more wonderful. And he is saying, I am. Everybody says I am. The male and the female, big and small. Everybody says I am. What is I am? That is the question. We have to answer. 7 days are devoted for that only. That is the beginning, that is the end of the story. I am. Everybody says. How do you know? Suppose he says, Smriti, your name is Smriti? Spurana. Now Spuranadi, you don't exist. Suppose all of us tell, Spurana doesn't exist. Will Spurana accept it? No, I don't want your certificate, I know I exist. Even if a baby comes and we say, oh baby, you are not alive, you are not existing, you are in an illusion. Will she accept? No, I know I exist. Just say that it exists. See this, very remarkable thing. And very daily we do that. We assert, I am doing this, I am standing, I am eating, I am walking, all these things. But what is this I am? There is no answer. They simply point out to this body. And mind to some extent. I am angry. What do you mean by that? The mind is in an anger state. I am unhappy. Who is unhappy? You know, guys, the mind is unhappy. And it is a particular state. I am unhappy, I am happy. It is a state of the mind. You are talking about it. And you superimpose that mental characteristic on this I am. I am happy, I am unhappy. But it has nothing to do with the mind. This I am is something different, totally different. It exists by itself. It asserts and says, I exist, I know, I am aware of my existence. So this is what we have to discover. Now, it is 3 o'clock. But then, I have not yet told you about the 2 important things which you have to do now. I'll tell it in 5 minutes and then continue the story. Now, you are doing Omkara. And this is called a worship, a type of worship, which is described in the Upanishads. It is called Pranava Mahamantra Upasana. Upasana means sitting near. This Omkara will help you to sit near the ultimate truth. That is, go near it. That is what they say. Atmana Maranim Krutva Pranavan Chottaranim Jnana Nirmadana Pyasat Pajam Dahari Panditaha. This is sloka in Kaivalya Upanishad. It is also mentioned in Brahma Upanishad. It is also mentioned in Svetasvatara Upanishad. They are saying Atmana Maranim Krutva. Arani, you know, Arani is a wood. It is used in ancient times for lighting the yajna. And one piece of the wood is taken, another piece of varna is taken, they are both rubbed, and fire is produced. And with that fire, the yajna is started. Now he is comparing the individual, Atmana Maranim Krutva. This is one piece of arani. And Pranavan Chottara the upper arani is the Omkara. And you rub it together, you find Jnana Agni coming. There Agni is coming, fire is coming. Here Jnana Agni is produced. And it will burn. Dahati Panditaha. What is going to destroy that is the sinful thing in one interpretation. And your Ajnana, ignorance. is being destroyed by this fire. Fire of knowledge destroys the ignorant darkness. How? This rubbing of the two things, yourself and the Om. You go on repeating Om, Om and all. If somebody comes, what is this? These people mad, I will come shouting Om, Om. So it becomes funny. But it is a great puja according to the Upanishads. Pranava Mahamantra. It's not an ordinary mantra. It is Mahamantra, this Omkara. And Pranavanchottararani. And that Jnana Nirmadhana Abhyasa. Madhanam. And you must do Abhyasa. Abhyasa means repeating it. What we are doing is Abhyasa. And Jnanagni will be produced. That is, you will get knowledge. Inner knowledge you get. By that, your ignorance will be destroyed. You know, what is ignorance? You are identifying yourself with the body and not the Chaitanya Shakti. The body is inert, skeleton covered by muscle and skin. But the Chit Shakti inside is the intelligent power that is running the whole show. But you ignore it totally. You are not aware of it. You don't take into consideration this Chit Shakti at all. On the other hand, you give great importance to this particular body. The nice food you want. Not once, thrice a day, every day in a week. What is this? Small breakfast in the morning, and a big another naivedya in the afternoon, and a smaller naivedya, and in between, madhye paniyam samarpaya, and you give so many things to the God. You treat it like a God, this body, and do so much of service from morning till evening, throughout your life, going on serving this body, going on putting food, water, drinks, and nice bed, and you want to purchase it. So you go and earn money by doing this, that, and all that. And what for? Feeding this. Why? Because you think that you are the working. Ask anybody, he will say, who are you? Immediately show this body. I am this. I am tall, I am short. I am male, I am female. Like that. So this is the great tragedy of the world. They identify themselves with something which they are not. So Swami Vivekananda says, the first step in spirituality is to know that you are not this body. And Lord Krishna says in 13th chapter, Idam Sariram Kaunteya Kshetra Nikiriveti. Oh Arjuna, this is a field. And the owner of the field is inside. And to make a distinction between these two, the field and the owner, that is wisdom. You are a wise person. If you make a distinction between these and identify yourself with the owner, you are the owner inside. And you identify with the body, with the field. Something like a car owner saying, I am the car. Or what will you say? If somebody says, I am the car, you will take him and put him in a hospital, mental hospital. Wherever you say that you are the owner of the car, you are not the car. So that is what is happening in the world. Human beings and all living things, danger. If you want to protect the body,
protect
her house, her car. So, this is the first step in spirituality according to Swami Vivekananda. And Shankaracharya compared this body to a crocodile. Suppose a man wants to cross a river and lands himself on a crocodile. What will happen? The crocodile will swallow him at some time or other. So it's very dangerous. It is swallowing you actually. You are sick inside, but you have got it yourself. And thinking that you are the body, coming under the illusion, to go on serving this day in and day out. And when new babies are born, my baby will say. And then you go on serving that baby also, thinking that the baby is also the body. So this whole thing is a madhouse, he says. This is a madhouse, this world. And Yes, please protect your body. You can't touch. Now come over here. Here and to me. Okay. Raghavaya Buddha.
Camera on sir.
Camera on. Don't touch that. Move aside. Lightly. Lightly adjust. Just the bodies. Now anyway, so this I am is the thing. Now I tell you how to identify this. Now there are Brahman is everywhere. Brahman's characteristic is existence in the awareness according to the Vyasa. But then it is there everywhere. Now in Dhammalukai, they got a name and they got a form. As soon as see this is Dhamma. And it exists. And you are aware of its existence. So two more traits are there. Existence and awareness, Nama and Rupa, name and form. Name and form is there, two. And existence and awareness is there, four. But we consider only two things into consideration. We take only name and form. We ignore the existence and awareness, even though they are there, because they don't have a physical form. Existence, awareness, they don't have a physical form. What do we know? Yes, which is not a physical form. Nama and Rupa are there, they are independent. Existence and awareness. It exists, you are aware of its existence. And this exists and it is you are aware of it. Sat and existence is Sat. Awareness is Chit. So Sat and Chit is there, Nama and Rupa are there. Four. So every time I see an object, I must recognize all the four objects. Name and form, microscope, it exists. We are aware of its existence. We go on. There are 100 things here. What did I say now? What are you doing? Yes, quite right. She is looking this way and that way. So I want to test her whether she is here or not. Now then, so you find, there are 100 objects here. Every one of them has got four characteristics. But are there 400 existences and awarenesses here? There is only one existence and awareness here, just like the light. The light falls on this, I recognize the book. The light falls on this, I recognize the book. But there are not so many lights here. Only one light is there, spreading everywhere, and consequently we recognize the object. So also, there is only one Sat and Chit here, and because of that we recognize the presence of so many objects here. Okay? Now we go to the body. The body has got several organs, and each has got a name and a form. 5 fingers are there, a little finger, ring finger, big finger, point finger, and then thumb, and so on. And each exists. Wherever it exists, and they exist Sat, Chit, is there. There are no so many Sats and Chits here. One single Sat is spreading everywhere in the body, outside, inside. You recognize so now. So Sat and Chit is there in this hall, and it is there everywhere in the body, inside, outside, Sat and Chit also, in addition to Nama and Rupa. Then we go to the mind. The mind is getting so many thoughts. Good, bad, neutral. And each thought has got a form. You see your friend in your mind. How do you know? The friend's form appears in your mind. And immediately recognize his name also. And it exists at the mental level. And you are aware of its existence in your mind. So Sat and Chit is spreading in the mind, associated with every thought that occurs there. Mind means thoughts only. It's the current of thoughts. So Sat and Chit are present everywhere, outside, inside the body, inside the mind also, associated with every thought. Over. Now we come to the I am. I am, everybody is saying. What is this I am? There is no particular form for the I am. In whichever body it is, it says, it attaches itself to that body and says, I am this. It is The body idea, the form, the nature of the body is superimposed this I am. I am by itself has no name and form. Everybody says I am. By itself, pure I am has no name, has no form. The name and form of the body in which it occurs, this I am, that is superimposed on that. And the thoughts arising in the mind, these characters also are superimposed. I am hungry. I am happy, unhappy, I am angry, and so on. All these are mental traits. They are superimposed. I am is not hungry. I am not anger. Anger is a characteristic of the mind. You superimpose it on this side. Pure I am is simply existence and awareness. That is what he asserts. Everybody asserts. I exist, I am. I exist, I am aware of my existence. I am means I exist, I am aware of my existence. That is, you are Sat and you are Chit. So everyone is asserting. Whenever he starts a sentence with I am sitting, I am standing, I am talking, I am looking. What am I saying? I am Sat and Chit. And Sat and Chit is doing, seeing, hearing, this, that. So a great truth you are talking about, but you don't know what you are doing. You are saying that you are Sat and Chit and that you are doing this, that and all those things. That means Sat and Chit is doing everything. Okay? Anything difficult to understand this? So I am means what? Sat and Chit. Where is this I am? Had I asked this question, where is this I am in the beginning, you would have said it is somewhere in the body. Because it seems to be somewhere in the body. But now after this analysis, this is what is called vichara. We are doing Atma vichara. Or Atma parisodhana we are doing. And this I am is Sat and Chit. Sat and Chit are the characteristics of Atma Swarupa. And Sat, Chit, Ananda they say. Satchidananda Para Brahman. Brahman's characteristics are Sat, Chit and Ananda also. Now where is Ananda? Ananda comes and goes. You get a car, Ananda, no car, Ananda goes. But this Ananda of the Brahman must be always there. And this I am is part of the Brahman. And so it must always enjoy happiness. But it is not so long. Why? If we are Satchidananda, if pure I am is Sat and Chit, Ananda also must be there. They go together. And every day you go into sleep, deep sleep condition, wakeful condition, Jagrat, Swapna and Sushupti. And in the Sushupti condition, God is Sushupti. You don't know. If I ask, where did you go? I don't know, sir. You don't know. Were you present or not? I don't know, sir. I don't know whether I was present or not. You say like that. And in the morning you say, I slept soundly, peacefully and happily. Peace and happiness are the term they use. Whatever the wakeful condition may be, however troublesome it may be. You are suffering from cancer, backache, this ache, that ache. But when you go into deep sleep, none of these things are able to touch you. You are freed from all these problems and troubles. And in the morning you give that evidence. I slept soundly, peacefully, happily. Now how did you get this happiness here? No car, no husband, no wife, no children, no bank balance. You have bank balance in the deep sleep condition? No. You have forgotten your body altogether. You have forgotten the world. You say that I don't know where I go. And yet you claim that you slept soundly, peacefully and happily. That is because pure I am state you are there. You have dissociated yourself but the body and mind also. Pure I am, you are there as Sat and Chit. Consequently, you enjoy peace and happiness. So if you want peace and happiness, what should you do? Sleep. You should not do anything. That's what we are doing in deep sleep condition. We don't do anything. So don't study. Don't do a job. Don't try to earn money. Don't get married. Nonsense it is. Marriage will not give you happiness. It will give you happiness and happiness. Both go together. everywhere.
Physical form.
But only when you go into deep sleep condition, that is only when you live as pure I am, you will have complete full happiness. 6 hours you sleep, 6 hours happy. No breaks. See that? So you must go on sleeping. You'll be happy. Is it possible? No. You can't sleep. Because sleep comes natural by the order of the Sachidananda, Brahman who is enacting this drama. The drama will be closed if you go to sleep all. So he doesn't allow the drama to stop. He wants to run this drama. So by his Maya Shakti, he is making all ayams identify themselves with different bodies. This is what is called Ajnana. Avidya it is called. If you want to remove this Ajnana, which is very, very old, thousands of years old, you have been here in this world, several times you have come. Every time a different body, and every time different activities. And you go and come back again. This is the first lesson given by Lord Krishna to Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita. In Bhagavad Gita, like all human beings, Arjuna, a great hero who waged so many wars and killed so many people and won several victories, such a great man, warrior, he is coming into the battlefield to fight his own brothers. And he says, "Oh Krishna, take my chariot to the middle. I want to see the whole thing, the whole battlefield." And he takes him there in the middle. He looks this way, his own relatives, his brothers, his relatives. On his side, his own brothers, cousin brothers, they are Kauravas. And his guru, Dronacharya, and his grandfather, great-grandfather, Bhishmacharya. And if this battle takes place, I have to kill them. And they have to kill our people. And all of them will kill each other. And what for am I doing all this? For my kingdom? Even if I get the kingdom, after killing all these people, what is the ananda I will get? What happiness will be there? How can I enjoy such a kingdom? So, I don't want to kill. I don't want this battle. I will go away. And he gives a lecture as to the consequences of the battle and the death of the people. A big lecture to Arjuna Krishna. Krishna is not uttering a single word. He is looking at him and smiling. And then smile. And then he said, when it is over, he said, "You fellow, you are talking like a big pandit, giving a lecture on what is sinful and what is not sinful. You were like this some time back. Where is that body? You have become a boy Arjuna. Where is that boy Arjuna body? It is dead. Gone. Another body has come in its place. The youthful body. Where is that body? It is also dead. You are now middle-aged. Tomorrow a old body will come. Old Arjuna's body will come. At every time there is something called I am inside. This I am is saying, this I am this, I am this, I am this, I am this. This I am is not dying. But the bodies are dying one after the other. The body dies. That is its nature. Change is occurring. Change is natural. And the old body also will fall. And this I am will go and enter into another body and come back again. There is no death for the I am. I am is Atma Swarupa. It has no birth, it has no death, it is eternal. It has been there since long, long ago. And it will be there for many, 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 many years. Eternal, everlasting. And you say those people will die, Kauravas. No, every one of them, there is an I am there inside. And that I am also is Atma Swarupa. It will not die. So where is cause for weeping? If you are weeping for the body, it has been dying. In your own lifetime, you have seen so many bodies coming and going. So it is foolish to weep for a body which is going. It goes naturally. So it is foolish to weep for the body. As for the I am, it won't die. So there is no question of weeping. You are all confused. You don't understand things properly. And then in the second chapter, it describes the glories of Atma Swarupa. It cannot be burned. It cannot be torn. It cannot be pierced by a sword. No. It cannot be killed. It's Atma Swarupa. And so there is no cause for BP. And if the battle takes place, they will kill, yes, the bodies will go. If not here, it will die in the house by a disease, by heart failure. So there is no question of stopping the death. Death means change. And now, if you look at it with the modern scientific knowledge, every day it is dying. So many molecules are going out of the body, through the nose, through the body. So many liquids are going out of the body, solids are going out of the body. And so many solids are entering inside the body. And liquids are entering the body. And the gaseous matter also is entering the body. What are they? They are all molecules. So at the level of cells and molecules, many cells are dying. New cells are being constructed. This is continuously going on according to the biologists. And every 3 months it seems the skin will be removed. And new skin cells will come. And every minute you find the red blood corpuscles dying in thousands. And they are replaced by new red blood corpuscles. So the body is not a solid structure as you think it is. It is not a Sila Pratima, no. It is not a statue. It is like a river of molecules. Old molecules are going, new molecules are coming, just like water goes and new water comes in the river. River means a flowing water between two bunds. So continuous change is a flux going on. And when you go to the level of not molecules or atoms, but right to the level of energy, energy is dancing here. It is a dance drama of energy, Shakti. And this I am, Sat and Chit. So the whole thing is Chit Shakti. This is a dance drama. This is Shiva, that is Parvati. Shiva and Parvati are dancing in Kailasha. And they are doing it in a story manner to understand ordinary people. They are telling like that, but they are talking about this Chit Shakti only. Ardhanariswara. Arunachalaswara is Ardhanariswara. With you, and you study it carefully so that you may explore your own skeleton every day for a few minutes. You do that in the part of the meditation class. And in the pranava, that is, there are 3 steps you have taken. The 4th steps you know. 5th step also is there. 5th, 6th, 7th. 7 steps are there. You will reach Brahman. You will become Brahman, that's all. If you climb the 7 steps. Now the 4th step is you must introvert the mind. Now start the journey. The journey has already started. That is, if you repeat Om continuously, the mind gets introverted. It becomes purified. It becomes concentrated. Automatically. But not like this, 10 or 15 minutes, no. You must do it for 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours in this introductory class. But there are 4 other classes, Pravina, Siddha and Arula classes. And by the time you complete, 12 hours you have to do, continuously. And if you do Omkara continuously, even in the first method, your mind will become peaceful. Go within, you will forget the body and the world. So effective are these methods. But not 5 minutes is all nonsense. Meditation must be always going on. And you will see how it is. By the time you complete this course, you will see how you can be always in meditation. Automatically, naturally. Because it is going on. You don't know that. You are not aware of it. But it is going on. Lord Krishna is doing your birth. He is digesting your body. Can you digest? Can you convert a non-living material which you send as food into skin, into muscle? Can you do that? Can anybody do it in the world? Nobody can do it. And it's going on in every body. Non-living matter is sent in, molecules and atoms. They are being incorporated into a living matter. And it's going on continuously. Continuously the body is being rebuilt, as it were. Old cells are being destroyed. New cells are being formed. Old molecules are sent out of the body. And new molecules are sent inside the body. The body is complete, something like a river. At the level of energy, it is a dance drama, fluctuation from higher, lower potentials and all that. Bioenergetics is a branch of biology, where they talk everything, all biology in terms of energy. That is, they are coming very near to yoga, from the modern scientists. Very near. We'll see what it is. Now it is 3:30. What shall we do? I'll give you 5 minutes time. Just go this way, that way. Come and sit down. We have to start our battle. The battle is between you and your body. I have nothing to do with it. You say, I am troubling you, making us sit. What is this?